Fools fool you, so do you, and lose dudes that want you to lose. So X can use you as a stat, but they have been wrong. You are not defined by just your skin tone.
Welcome to 3 Count Commentary. We'll talk about MLW Fusion from December the 1st, 2021. So the first thing I want to discuss is that Enzo will actually be debuting next week, which should be very fun. I know he's going to be wrestling M-Dog Matt Cross, which, is interesting. Very interesting decision. I'm not a hater of Enzo. I think Enzo is funny. I think Enzo is fun. I think he can bring some great charisma to this show. And Court Bauer is really good at getting those guys and bringing them in and showing off their personalities, because he's a actual wrestling, guy, because he learned from Gary Hart, so he knows what he's doing. He featured on this show some really undesirable talent, as far as I'm concerned. That's what I can tell you. I'm not saying that everybody was terrible, but there wasn't a lot of charisma on this show. There wasn't a lot. Casey Navarro defeated Warhorse. Casey Navarro was a guy I said that Impact should have signed. I heard him cut promos during, I believe it was their X Cup thing that they did. So he has some personality. He had gotten into it with Warhorse the previous week. Warhorse, of course, is known for the TNT Open Challenge thing that he did with Cody, where he got the internet to support him to be Cody's opponent, and he got the match, lost the match, and then faded back into obscurity where he came from. And now here he is again. I didn't care about this match. I don't know if these guys are sticking around. I had no idea. They didn't seem like they were sticking around at all, so I didn't really take time to invest into this match. Emilio Sparks, that's the guy's name. Now, the paparazzi guy from MLW. Now, I keep getting him mixed up with Emilio Sparks from Rockefeller Records. And I was like, when I heard that, I was like, that can't be real. What's the likelihood that a guy named Emilio Sparks would be the commentator for the backstage, the journalist class of MLW? In any event, he's live streaming different things. And there's 3 or 4 segments of him live streaming. Well, segment 1 is him live streaming Duran counting huge wads of cash and just walking down the stairs. And Duran is, completely oblivious to Emilio even being there. Second segment is a henchman who has Matanza's mask, showing it to Cesar Duran. The third is a henchman giving Cesar Duran the key to Matanza and using the key to open the door, and gave whoever was behind the door the mask. So what we're being told was that Jeff Cobb was never the real Matanza, and that the real Matanza was still locked away. All right, cool. I don't mind that. He's probably going to end up having to change his name again, but it seems that he's not going to blow the Matanza secret by just telling everybody it was Jeff Cobb and that was it. That was just a teaser. He's just teasing everybody who already knew that Jeff Cobb was Matanza by telling you that this Matanza is going to be Jeff Cobb, but this one's going to be different. So this is interesting. And still having Matanza as a ace in the hole. Very interesting too. The chick, Katrina, her name is Carly. I don't want to say Carly Cortez or something like that. It's Carly something or other. I saw it in a tweet, and I was like, I couldn't remember her name was in MLW to save my goddamn life. And now I figured out that it's Carly, but now I forgot her last name. But Carly is not, Katrina. Katrina is far more foreboding. But her name is Carly. She's wrestling in she's in MLW in the name Carly. So the second match was a women's tag team match, the Top Dogs versus the Sea Stars. The Sea Stars won the match. Willow was on commentary, talking about Holiday. And Holiday then attacked her after the match, and they fought off into the night with Willow very badly fighting her back. This was all very bad. Willow is such a nice, joyful, cheerful young lady that I didn't believe anything she said in terms of wanting to beat up on Holla did. It was just kind of like, I'm going to get her eventually. This is so much fun. It's like, oh boy. Um, like, we need some malice out of you, big girl. We need you to get serious a little bit. You don't gotta be, stereotypical, but you gotta show some malice. Man, she jumps you numerous times now. The Top Dogs, I've never seen them before. Never even heard of them. Don't remember the names other than Top Dogs. They're a tag team of women. Didn't care. Alex Kane established a Bumaya Fight Club. He wants nothing to do with American Top Team anymore. Of course, they took the time to explain what Bumaya Fight Club meant, which is smart. People obviously could have Googled it if they wanted to, but Alex Kane, of course, explains that it's from the famous chant that they used to chant at Muhammad Ali. And then he, of course, demonstrates how he wants the chant to go, Bumaya, Bumaya. But the chant went, Ali, Bumaya, Ali, Bumaya, Ali, Bumaya. Of course, it means kill him, beat him, that kind of thing. It was from I believe it was Ali versus Frazier, or was it Ali versus Foreman? It was when it was one of them fights in, like, I think it was Africa. The Rumble in the Jungle, I don't think it was in Africa. Was it? I don't remember. I honestly don't remember. I remember seeing the fight though. I saw both of those fights. I saw all those fights actually, but I don't remember them because I wasn't there for them. Obviously, I saw them like a YouTube or watched them on ESPN Classic or something. So, but the chant went Ali Bumaya, Ali Bumaya. Also, we know that Antonio Enoki also does the Bumaya thing. So, which of course Antonio Inoki had his match with Muhammad Ali, so that's kind of where I think he started using it. So it's a nice little name for Alex Kane. I like that. Getting rid of that bum ass King Mo helps him quite a bit in coming across as a bigger star and being more interesting. We got a 5150 promo where they cussed a lot. They just did a lot of cussing. Where Slice Boogie said that MLW done fucked up and that, they just got there and getting a title shot and that there's no wrestling politics involved. It's just some gangster shit that's about to go down. Conan says that everybody knew when they showed up there things were going to change, and now things are going to change and they're going to win the tag team titles. Rivera said he swore on his abuela, his grandmother, that they're gonna beat their ass, and if you think that snatching their masks was disrespectful, wait until they snatch their titles. Like 5150, they got a whole Tan Boys thing going on here, which is very cool. It's also very New York, and I kind of like the swagger and the way that the characters are presented. I think MLW is in a good place where they have the freedom to be able to use the foul language and to be able to use it effectively. And even though it's a bit excessive, a little bit excessive, it fits the characters because these are street dudes and they're just talking like street dudes, So it is what it is. Hopefully they win the tag team titles. That'll be fun. And the main event, the main event asks a question. Do you like your sponges dry or wet? Like, what's your favorite kind of charisma-less wrestler guy? TJP or Davey Richards? I've never cared less about a match for something. And this was the Opera Cup Finals. TJP versus Davey Richards. And I was like, oh my goodness. I cannot believe I care less a little about this. So TJP laughed and said that Davey Richards comes in the match with 4 knee surgeries and he's a submission guy. And, I don't lose twice to anybody. Davey Richards is like, oh, yes, if this was the old days, I'll be riding to the battle on a horseback with an axe. Like he's an old knight, whatever. And then they went in there and had a grappling match, which is a fine wrestling match. And Davey Richards wins by submission. I'm not a fan of either one of these guys, if we're being honest, man. They're boring, and So to me, this was kind of a filler episode of MLW. It exists. It did a good job of furthering the Emilio Sparks storyline, because, you know, he was told to get some scoops if he wanted to keep his job in MLW. So he decided he was going to spy on Cesar Duran. Good thing. You know, that's a good thing for the character and to further that storyline. We get to further the Cesar Duran storyline because now we find out that there's a real Matanza who is still locked away. Okay, cool. We didn't touch on the world title. We didn't touch on any of the other belts except the Alex Kane's Bumaya thing that introduced that. So that was good. 5150 touched on the tag team titles. Okay, that was good. But this Opera Cup thing, thank God it's over, because it was leading us down the path of just having matches and with guys with no charisma, no character, no real motivations. So thankfully it's over. Hopefully MLW can improve, which, you know, and it's still, even in a down week, they still did a lot of character development that was worth discussing, you know. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Like this video, share this video, subscribe to the channel, donate to the channel too. Thank you guys for your time, and I'll talk to you guys later, man. Peace out.
Old non-aggression. Once that lesson sets in, you'll see a session, but you got an affection for no progression, regression. The best